Reporting on East Carson Street
in the Pittsburgh Playhouse
in downtown Pittsburgh and East Liberty, this is Addison Diehl reporting for UView Television. Pittsburgh's historic South Side neighborhood is a popular destination for both Pittsburgh natives and visitors alike, with its many stores, bars, and restaurants. It didn't always look like this, however, and the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership has a plan in place to keep this neighborhood up and coming. Downtown Pittsburgh, while home to thousands, is considered a food desert. The only grocery store in the area is this Target, built in 2022. Many online are calling for a 28-day economic blackout of these stores. But when this is the only place you can get groceries, what are you supposed to do? There really is no place like home. Beloved player Andrew McCutcheon is making his return back to the Pittsburgh Pirates after 5 years of being on a different team. See at tonight's game against the Houston Astros to see if he will lead us to the playoffs. I'm here in front of the Cafe Momentum, a project that originally started in Dallas, Texas, but has found its way down to downtown Pittsburgh. This cafe uniquely employs teens ages 15 to 19 who have been in and out of the Juvenile Detention Center. In President Trump's first few hours in office, he signed over 20 executive orders, targeting things like immigration, DEI branches, and extending Title IX discrimination protections. While President Trump says this is, quote, defending women against gender ideology and extremism, end quote, many LGBTQ+ students are seeing their safety called into question. In a city like Pittsburgh, public transport is key to getting residents where they need to go to. But with plans for the rapid transit bus line coming up, people in downtown are stuck wondering how they're going to get to work today.
It affects my commute pretty heavily. I live in Oakland. So them changing the buses is kind of sucks, I'm not gonna lie.
Jake is just one of the dozens of commuters to Point Park University who rely on the bus to get to class every day. But the bus line he takes from Oakland to downtown has been halted since October 1st.
But if they wanted to do that, I just don't know why they would take away buses from another route to try and fix that, because now it's just gonna make the commute even longer. And also the 61 and the 71 are like probably the most consistent bus routes, the quickest too, and the change is going to affect a lot of people's commutes.
Despite minor news coverage, most bus riders say that this came as a surprise to them.
No, I didn't really know until they put up these flyers on the actual bus stops. They never made an actual announcement about the buses changing. They just put the flyer up.
Bus lines 61D and 71A, C, and D are now only serving Oakland and do not make stops in Uptown or downtown. While commuters are struggling with the changing bus lines, Pittsburgh Regional Transit says that the rapid transit line will be a much better change.
Currently, there is an abundance of service in the corridor, and oftentimes we see buses bunching. So meaning one bus comes right after the other, everybody gets on the first bus, and then the second bus is empty. This will sort of smooth out that traffic or those travel patterns.
The plans for the rapid transit bus line are not set to conclude until 2025, but the lines running from Oakland to downtown have stopped running since October 1st. In downtown Pittsburgh, this is Addison Diehl reporting for Point News. Project 2025, an intense possible reality for many individuals in the U.S. Women, immigrants, people of color, and LGBTQ+ individuals are all targets in the agenda of Project 2025. I'm here in East Liberty, where former national security leaders have gathered to warn the public against Project 2025 and campaign for Walz and Harris, two candidates who have been vocal about their non-support of this bill. Project 2025 is a long-form piece of legislation led by the Heritage Foundation and former Trump administration officials. This plan includes many different aspects, from requiring states to report women's miscarriages and abortions to abolishing the Department of Education.
Trump's Project 2025 agenda will remove even more guardrails. Trump's plan for a second term, called Project 2025 agenda, would give him virtually unchecked power and would take away our freedoms and raise costs on families while giving out huge tax breaks to millionaires.
Even more extreme, Project 2025 plans to place the entire federal bureaucracy under the president's command, including the Department of Justice, according to BBC.
This is the most important work that I have done since I left active duty in 2005, bar none, saving our democracy from what could be an authoritarian regime coming in.
While Trump has denied involvement, the plan is headed by many of his former staff members and is widely supported by the MAGA crowd. Former national security figures Richard Kelly, Lawrence Guzman Romo, and Chris Hayes spoke about the dangers of Project 2025 and endorsing Kamala Harris.
We need Kamala Harris to lift us up and inspire us and our youth to move forward. Here, here.
Along with the speakers, more than 700 national security leaders signed a letter to the American people, saying, quote, "This election is a choice between serious leadership and vengeful impulsiveness. It's a choice between democracy and authoritarianism," end quote.
This group will continue their trek across the country, visiting Michigan later this week to continue to spread their message against Donald Trump and Project 2025. This is just one important topic in the hands of voters for this election season. In East Liberty, this is Addison Diehl reporting for UView Television. A Florida boat captain is defying the odds after surviving Hurricane Milton. The man was trying to repair his fishing boat and bring it to shore when his boat was suddenly disabled. At around 1:30 p.m. on Thursday, the Coast Guard located him stranded in the water approximately 30 miles off Longboat Key. The boat captain braved the storm with a life jacket, an emergency locator beacon, and a cooler. The hurricane brought 75 to 90 mile-per-hour winds and 25-foot waves. This rescue was hailed as a miracle, and he is currently recovering at Tampa General Hospital. Hurricane Milton's deadly trek through the South Coast has finally ended, leaving Florida and other states with extreme damage. After meeting the land near Siesta Key, Florida on Wednesday night at a Category 3 ranking, its path of destruction continued to ravage Florida and surrounding states. There are at least 17 confirmed deaths and billions of dollars of damage to both residential and commercial areas at the hands of the storm. Along with ripping the roof off Tropicana Field, Milton has left over 500,000 Floridians without power as of Monday morning, according to USA Today. President Joe Biden visited Florida a second time this past Sunday, promising an additional $612 million to be used in Florida and the surrounding areas to support civilians affected by this disaster. Specifically, this includes $47 million each for Gainesville Regional Utilities and Florida Power and Light to regain power for the state. This comes after Biden's announcement of federal funding and official declaration of a major disaster in Florida last Friday. Biden said in the visit, quote, "We're going to do everything we can to get power back in your home, not only helping you recover, but to help you build back stronger," end quote. Along with the power outage, more than 2,100 gas stations have limited fuel, according to CBS News. The White House announced on Friday that 1,000 federal personnel remain on ground in Florida, as well as 50,000 workers working on restoring power to hopefully end this forced blackout.